All right. Hello and welcome to Take Care Tips TV. This is where we give you information and resources that you can use to help you take care of yourself while you're taking care of others. We love to have guests on the show with us, and we are so happy to have someone from the Butler County Area Agency on Aging. Brittany has been with the organization for 10 years. She's done a lot of work with caregivers in this amount of time. She's got a great event coming up that we want to tell you all about. But welcome, Brittany.
Thanks for having me.
Sure, sure. Tell us a little bit about the work that you do, the work that the Area Agency on Aging does as well, if people aren't familiar.
So, the Area Agency on Aging, we are located in Butler County. Each county across Pennsylvania has an Area Agency on Aging. And the goal of the aging offices are to support older adults, 60 and older, through a variety of in home service programs. And then we also have community based programs. We provide assistance and resources for things like Medicare, food stamps, home delivered meals, senior centers. So if you're unsure of a resource and you're an older adult, your local area agency on aging is the first door that you should knock on.
That's fantastic. And what caused you to start something specifically for caregivers?
So, through the aging office, one of the programs that we offer is called the Caregiver Support Program. The Caregiver Support Program's main goal is to reduce the burden of caregiving for the caregiver. It does indirectly affect the care receiver with some benefits, but we do that by qualifying individuals through one of four categories through the Caregiver Support Program, and it provides reimbursement for caregiving cost. So reimbursement for things like if you're a caregiver for your mom and you work full time and you don't have time to go over weekly and assist with light housekeeping or laundry, it can reimburse the cost of having a housekeeper come in. It can reimburse the cost of light duty nursing care, reimburse the cost of adult day facilities. So say you live with your mom and you're her primary caregiver, but you work full time and you just can't do it during the workday. So you can put your loved one in an adult day facility and we can reimburse you the cost of that. Up to $600 per month is the cap.
That's incredible. We've talked before with our Take Care Tips community about the stress that these issues, can cause caregivers and how are they going to make ends meet. And if forced to choose between one thing or another, they're going to choose their loved ones. But a lot of times that means that other things suffer as a result. So sounds like a fantastic program to help to fill in some of those gaps.
Absolutely. That's what we see a lot with our caregivers is that they are so focused on caregiving that they don't take care of themselves. And then what happens when the caregiver goes down? You know what I mean? So the goal of the program that we're having on June 26th is like a self-care program for the caregiver. So a little retreat that we're offering. We're going to have some educational programming. We are having a gardening workshop, which I think is really just a nice, like mindful activity for our caregivers to do, and some other local resources to Butler County other than just our aging office. So different care providers, adult day facilities, the LIFE program, some other agencies which have some good information for caregivers, and you will be there.
Yeah, I'm so excited to be there to share some good information on self-care, some self-care activities with your group. I can't wait to meet everybody. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yes, we are so happy to have you on board with us and really appreciate the partnership. But if anyone is interested in attending, it is a completely free event. You can call our office at 724-282-3008, option 6 to register.
That's great. And can you tell us a little bit more about the Caregiver Support Program and eligibility? So who is
Yes.
eligible for that? And
So
is this only a Butler County thing?
So the phone number below is specific to our Butler County offices. But again, the Area Agency on Aging, there is one in every county of Pennsylvania. So there's 67 counties in Pennsylvania and 52 area agencies on aging. Some aging offices like Washington, Fayette Green, they double up their services. So they're one agency for their counties. But this program is available across the state of Pennsylvania and nationally through other programs, other Department of Agings, they may have a similar program structure. So if you're unsure of a resource, always reach out to your local aging office. But the eligibility for our program in Pennsylvania is based on 4 different categories. So category 1 is for a caregiver who is 18 years or older, and they are caring for someone 60 years or older, and their person that they're caring for has a functional deficit. So a functional deficit would be based on an activity of daily living. So they would need help with something like bathing, transferring, toileting, dressing. Some kind of functional deficit would clinically qualify them for this program. Category 2 is for a caregiver who is 18 or older, and they are caring for someone of any age with an Alzheimer's or related disorder diagnosis. So they have to have that diagnosis to qualify for that program. We also have a program called the Grandparent Program, which is under the Family Caregiver Support Program. This program is for a caregiver who's 55 or older, and they're caring for an individual 18 or younger. They are not the biological parent. They must be related by blood, adoption, or marriage. And they have to have legal guardianship or be raising the child informally. This program, like I said, you have to be a child 18 or under. You don't have to have any type of clinical deficit to qualify for it. You just have to have that age and relationship. But a lot of times the reimbursement services that we provide to grandparents or aunts and uncles caring for individuals under 18 would be services like babysitting or summer camp. In some cases, we've purchased school clothing for the individual, or special cleats for soccer, something that would give the caregiver some respite time away from that child, which is very important too. You know, a lot of people forget that there are younger caregivers taking care of younger individuals. So that's a great resource and a very underutilized program within the Pennsylvania Department of Aging. And the last category is for caregivers who are 55 and older who are caring for a disabled individual age 18 to 59. So it would be the same thing, the same type of reimbursement. They have to be related by blood, marriage, or adoption, but it just cannot be the biological parent caring for a disabled individual 18 to 59. So those are the 4 eligibility categories, and the program provides reimbursement for services up to $600 is the monthly cap. Anything that can reduce the burden on the caregiver, but also might indirectly benefit the care receiver. There is a financial component to the program, and it's based on the care receiver's household income. So it's a sliding scale. If the care receiver lives alone and their household income is less than $29,000, they would receive 100% reimbursement up to that $600 cap. If their income is above $55,000, they would not qualify for the program. And anywhere in between, they might get 75, 60, 50, 25% reimbursement. For a household of 2, the caregiver reimbursement to qualify for 100% is $39,440, and then the maximum income is $74,000. So there's a lot of wiggle room in between there. Like I said, especially if you're an older caregiver and you're living on a fixed income, you likely may qualify for the program.
That's fantastic. And that kind of money really can be life-changing to people who are struggling to remove some of the stress from the situation, you know, wherever possible. And I remember when we met at another event for caregivers, you were sharing that this is very underutilized. You have this money here available for people to take advantage of. So,
Yep. Yeah, it really is. It seems like, especially with the grandparent program, we find people who we may think may qualify, but that age is a barrier. So we have talked to legislators, both state and federal legislators, about changing the requirements for that. But all in all, our general caregiver program for caregivers who are 18 and older is just very underutilized.
Mhm.
I think a lot of people think maybe it's too good to be true. What's the catch? But there really is no catch to this, other than we want to keep individuals in this unpaid, like informal caregiver structure, rather than having individuals progress to a higher care need and end up in nursing homes. So that's the primary goal of the aging office and the Pennsylvania Department of Aging across the state, is to keep individuals in the least restrictive environment, which is the community. And we can
Mhm.
do this by providing those supports and services to our caregivers and our care receivers.
Mhm. It's a lot of information. Is this a good email address for people
Yes,
who are interested in finding out more, huh?
absolutely. It's aaainfo@co.butler.pa.us. And if you're not in Butler County and you don't know where to start, feel free to email us and we can connect you with your local aging office.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much for that. And just with the work that you've done with so many people over your decade of experience
Yep.
there, what could you say to people in general about what you're seeing and any advice that you might have to people who are struggling either with a variety of issues related to aging or with caregiving?
With both of those, call our office, ask for help. Even if we aren't the entity to provide you that direct support, we can connect you with someone who can. What I find so much is that, especially with our older population of seniors, so the 85 and older, everything is online. Everything is email this, everything is text this. Here's a QR code. Pick up the phone and call us. That's still the best way to go. And we can connect you rather than having you hang on the phone by calling one person one time and going through this chain of, I don't know who to speak to. Call us and we can just take care of it for you if it's something related to aging, or we can connect you with an actual person for a warm handoff. That seems to be the most frustrating part of individuals trying to access services as they're aging, that they either don't know who to call, or they call someone and they get connected to five other people. um, the other thing is, with a lot of the programs and services that we have, it's good to be mindful of what we offer, even if it doesn't pertain to you right now. So if you're a younger senior and you're thinking, I'm a caregiver, but I'm 60, I'm a caregiver of my husband, but he's not that critically ill yet. We don't need a lot of long-term supports and services. Come to our event, be familiar with our services, because it's better to familiar yourself with us now before the train derails, because then it's a lot harder to get into having something set up. So familiarize with ourselves now so that we can provide those supports in case something does happen down the road.
That's great advice. So many people are never prepared. Right? So many times it just happens out of the blue. You're minding your own business, rolling right along, and all of a sudden something happens and find yourself in the shoes of being a caregiver.
Yep.
And that's not the moment to try to start to do your research on that. Too much emotion, too much stress. You're not able to do your best work when you're having to deal with all of that at the same time. And so that's such great advice. And yeah, there are the details on the event again, completely free to come on out. I hope to see a lot of people there. And I'm so looking forward to learning more about everything that you're doing and spending some time with you that day as well.
Yes, thank you so much. And that event is at the Atrium, which is in Prospect. It's very conveniently located off of 422 and I-79. So we hope to see everyone there.
All right, Brittany, thank you so much.
Thank you.